Hi there. Okay, I want to welcome you back to another moccasin design changes, and this is one of my latest moccasin builds, and these ones I've kept for myself. They are a very good tough leather, and I wanted to compare a little bit between them and these Oxfords here. But before I do that, what I want to do is to just go over a couple of the changes that we've made to previous designs. Okay, so we started out with this, and one of the first changes or improvements is that we moved the center line of our foot. We've moved it 3/4 of an inch higher. Okay, so it's gone up 3/4 of an inch, and that's to allow for you to be able to easier get your foot in. Okay, so it's made a bigger entrance, a hole here. Okay, the next thing that we did is we changed it from a denim design to an all leather design. Now, if you can remember from previous videos, this hem along here was to fold over in order to give you a denim that didn't have a raw edge. But we've gotten rid of that now. So the moccasin is going to look like this instead, because we don't need to fold the leather over because it already has a finished edge, and you can develop that edge to be as finished or as nice as you want it to be. So this is what we're looking at to work with right now. Another thing that I've done is we've done these lines here are for stiffening up the riser part, and it also helps to keep the insulation, whatever you decide to use, it keeps it from being so loose on the inside. Okay, so there's another thing that we're going to do with the heel or ankle part of it, and that is we've always come and had the height, the vertical part of our heel straight up and down. Well, we're going to make a change to that, in that if you have a look at this heel and this ankle, it might not be exactly straight up and down, but it is, for all intents and purposes, basically straight up and down. Okay, so we're going to change that. I found that by eliminating that and instead doing like they do with the Oxfords, and what they do is they come in an awful lot to facilitate the shoe staying on. So with that, we've got the shoe coming in 3/4 of an inch, and I want to incorporate that same idea into the moccasins. Now, we won't probably be able to make it as nice as the Oxfords are here, but what we're going to do is to take our design And instead of going straight up and down here, what we're going to do is come up about this, we'll just say that this, because it doesn't have a heel on it, we're going to come up about 3 inches. And that is going to be our widest or tightest part of the moccasin. So we're going to come up. This is about where the moccasin starts its rise. We're going to come up. Now this 3 inches is the deepest part. But I think what we're going to do is to make it come up only 2 inches. Okay, so here's our 2-inch mark. And we're going to go in 3/4 of an inch. Now that, to me, that might be a little bit much, so why don't we start off with a 1/2 an inch. That's certainly still going to help. And we're going to go like that. And okay, so once we've got that mark there, and 3/4 of an inch, then we're going to come back to where we start our incline. And then we're going to go from there to the top of the moccasin. Something along those lines. And then you can also, you know, you don't have to have it as such a triangle, but you can slope it up like this, you know, put it in an arc. And I think that by doing that, we are going to have a much more comfortable moccasin. Okay, so it's going to be feeling much snugger on the heel. And then what I've started doing is I've always had a piece of leather glued over top of this. But then I've started also, I've got some thinner rubber, and I've put in a piece of thin rubber in here too. So that is really adding to the comfort of the heel. So this is our major design change for this particular moccasin. Okay, and then what we're going to do with our moccasins is because using this leather can be quite a challenge to get them broken into your foot shape, and using the paracord laces, which we've always done in the past, I found that if you wash the paracord laces, throw them in with a couple loads of your laundry, it will soften them up and it'll allow for a much better grip when you're tying a bow. And so that's just a tip if you're using your paracord laces. If you want something that will never get loose on you, what I'm doing as break-in, I call them break-in laces, and that is I'm adding, I'm going to put in every pair some elastic cord. Now this elastic cord will allow you to tighten the moccasins up, and they'll stay tight, and they'll stay in the shape that your foot is. Okay, whereas the paracord could loosen up, and then your moccasin would open up and it wouldn't be in the shape of your foot anymore. With the elastic laces, they will stay in the shape of your foot. And even at night, when you take them off, there's no necessity to undo any bows or knots or anything that you've tied in them, because they will slip on and off very easily. And then we have a couple of the cord locks to work with the laces. So that is a very important thing that we're working with also. And now, in addition to what is to these things here that we're doing, I've developed a little added feature that on the bottom of the moccasins we can see the leather, and it's tough leather. I've been wearing these for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and so the leather has hardly even scratched the surface wax off. But what I've done is I've added some copper, I call them never wear points. Now it looks like they're just set in to the leather, but they're not. There's a piece soldered onto the back of this copper never wear points, and so they will never come out. The never wear point will never come out. And there's 2 of those, one there and one on the side, because I thought that that is the place where most people where their soles wear out first. So this should take a lot of the wear and tear and make the soles last that much longer. Now you can't see it in this pair of moccasins, but what I'm doing is I'm adding a cork liner to all the moccasins that I make now. Okay, that cork moccasin, I never thought that it could be add so much comfort and insulation and warmth value than what they do. I'm going to add a pair as an insole, and I may even add a piece as a sole on the leather on the outside. This is just really comfortable. It's 1/4 of an inch, and it's just like you got a little heater in your moccasins all the time. So that is the cork, and then we've gone over the heel, we've gone over the heel adjustment, and then the leather. This is what's called regular weight of leather, regular firmness. Okay, you can get, I certainly don't go any higher than the regular, and for your first pair go to soft leather. Okay, so those are the changes that we're going to be making, and I just wanted to run those by you to show you what to expect in future pairs of moccasins. I'm going to be doing a little bit longer video on this pair of moccasins just to help you understand a little bit about went into the manufacture of them. So with that, I'll let you go, and I'm going to get started on our next project, and we're going to draw up the design for our new pair of moccasins, and it'll be posted in a few days. Okay, well, thank you for coming back, and I hope you enjoy making your own moccasins.